we found this Epic Games building in England. We all wrote signs like protesting outside this building.
I never thought about the consequences that could happen. I'm truly like so sorry.
Your ban was so deep that even if you had a kid in the future that he would not be able to play Epic Games.
Really? The whole mission was, I'm gonna try sneak into the building and, you know, get into the mainframe and unban myself. But they did actually send me a cease and desist though. My mum got served.
You actually went in?
Yeah, so I was trespassing essentially.
So did you really stop playing all these years? I just want to give you guys a heads up before the episode starts. We are officially on Spotify and Apple Music for all the people asking. You can check out the links in the description. And also for anybody that used to watch my gaming videos, I'm actually launching a gaming channel in the description. Check it out. Jarvis, FaZe Jarvis. How you doing?
FaZe Apex.
I said FaZe Jarvis and did the thing.
Yeah,
you
I
haven't
was
heard
like,
that in a while, huh?
Jesus.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you
How
too.
you doing?
Yeah,
First thing I
good.
noticed when Jarvis walked in the door is how massive his chest is. My guy's you guys a straight athlete
Yeah,
now.
bro. I mean, when I was in FaZe, I was this little skinny gamer kid. So
You're a little guy.
yeah, very little.
Little guy in the basement.
Yeah,
Almost qualifying for the World Cup, which
Almost,
we'll
yeah.
get to. But
yeah,
good to see you, man.
yeah. You too.
Talking with your brother, of course, and we haven't seen you guys since Dubai.
Yeah, that was
3 years ago.
It's been that long.
Yeah,
Wow, it doesn't
that
feel
was
like it's
pretty
been that
fresh
long.
after like everything went down too.
Yeah,
Saw you
yeah,
guys
I
and,
remember.
like,
Yeah, we were
haven't
talking
seen you
about
guys
everything.
since.
Yeah,
But
wow.
good to see you. I caught you on a good week. I was texting Kay and I'm like, so I did on my gaming channel, I did a blind ranking, or sorry, tier list of FaZe members.
Really?
Yeah. So I put you and Kay, I think, in the S tier.
I take that.
So he texted me. He's like, "Hey man, I appreciate you putting us in the S tier and whatever." And I was like, and then he's like, basically, like, I'm like, "Are you guys coming to California anytime soon?" He's like, "Jarvis is sparring." I'm like, "Let's
That's
do it."
crazy
Yeah.
timing. Yeah,
I know I got lucky. I mean, I would have
Yeah.
came to Vegas to
Yeah,
see you
for
guys,
sure.
but appreciate you getting on.
Of course, mate. Yeah,
I was
it's just
telling-
sick. I like that you're doing this podcast. I've seen some clips. You know, you've had some cool guests on. So.
Thank you. I have. We were maybe my favorite one yet.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Jarvis fan. I'm a big Jarvis
You're glazing
fan.
me.
I am, hey, dude. I was telling Kay, you know, like Kay invented glazing. That's what TikTok
Yeah,
says.
bro.
All right, the first time I saw that meme, I was dying. It's like the real inventor of glazing, and it's just like a low quality of Kay in the background.
bro. Some of those clips, like when you look at them now, it's just like
It's just kind of crazy.
it's funny to see. Yeah.
It is funny, but you know, who would have thought you're full on boxer now?
Yeah.
So, you know, you just told me outside you're about to turn 24 this year.
24 this year,
Which
which
is-
is insane. think I'm getting so old.
That is, you know, so I've been in FaZe now for 14 years, and I turned 28. I'm turning 29 this year.
Really?
But it's technically not half my life,
you're
but
young.
basically half
You're
my
young.
life.
Yeah.
I'm young?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you,
Okay,
Jarvis.
yeah.
Thank you. I thought you were gonna call me old. But yeah, almost half my life. But doing the
Yeah.
math, you've been on the internet for more than half your life at this point.
Yeah,
Almost,
I mean,
more than a third, dude.
Yeah, my first video was, of course, on Fraser's channel back in when I want to say 11.
Really?
I did the first Q&A with Fraser.
Oh my god.
I'm wearing this like little pink t-shirt. I'm this tiny little kid.
You remember it, huh?
Yeah, I remember it for sure.
I remember you. That's what, you know, a lot of people think you just came in the Fortnite era, but
No.
you were on Kay's channel.
Yeah,
From
for ages.
way back before. I remember you used to-
he was
You know,
using me.
Yeah, he was
Using
using me.
me.
You
know,
were a
but
FaZe
it
fan at
was
the
a-
time, though, right?
Yeah, a big FaZe fan.
Yeah, so you had fun
I
with
used
it.
to love all the videos. I was like, started trick shotting a lot when on Black Ops 2. That was kind of my favorite Call of Duty. Personally.
You're more like us than your brother.
Yeah.
Brother's a MW3 sniper, but
Yeah.
you're Black Ops 2.
I was like still kind of too young, you know.
Yeah.
And I kind of grew up and stuff. So.
But you were really good at trick shotting back then. I went on your
Yeah.
channel. I saw a random clip on your channel of
Yeah,
you
some of
hitting
my
2
first
trick
videos.
shots back to back, 2 raid suicides.
Yeah, crazy, right?
You know what I'm
That was
talking
in a-
about?
That was in a
Domination.
TDM game.
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, and that was. I think that's one of my best clips. of all
That's
time, for sure.
crazy.
Crazy.
I'm good. My editor will put it over the screen.
Yeah.
You
I'll
literally
show it.
put the tack insertion down, you hit a sui, put the tack insertion down, hit another one. I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, never.
But you're a better trick shotter than I ever was, for sure, on Black Ops 2.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I used to grind that game. Like I was like 11 years old, so I had no obligations. I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
I'd go to school, but that was about it. So I'll be on the game like as soon as I got home from school till like 4 a.m. You know,
so crazy.
doing whatever.
So give us a little bit about your childhood and your background. So obviously you're the youngest brother.
Yeah.
of Kay and
Probably
Chandler.
the favorite too. You know, I got let off for sure with some things. You know, I
Really?
think Frazier and Chandler kind of helped me out, cushioned my mom a little bit, made her a little nicer for me. So
You're the favorite. You're
she'll never admit it, but
I heard she's a big fan now of your boxing and stuff.
No, I mean she's with me all the time. You know, every single fight I have, she's there in my corner. She actually cooks all my food, so it's like I'm back home. And cool. You know, I got my whole team with me. I got a nutritionalist, so she keeps in touch with that. And, you know, she's really proactive on, like, she sends me little videos and clips, you know, what I can do for boxing, how, you know, my health and everything like that.
Really?
So, yeah, she's really...
That's awesome.
She's my number one.
That's amazing. I mean, obviously, I've known you both for a long time. You know, you were a little kid at the time, but I've known your brother since, like, 2013.
Yeah.
So I've always known, like, first off, I've always seen that you guys are very tight-knit family.
Very, yeah.
Especially your mom. Like, I've only heard you guys praise your mom also.
Always,
and, like, speak very highly of her. And she's such a hard work and all that. So, you know, your brother mentioned that she owned a salon and all that. I guess from your perspective, your childhood, growing up as the youngest brother, what was your childhood like from your perspective?
I mean, you know, it was great. It was, you know, she was a single mom, of course. She worked. She was, you know, luckily she was in a great position where she had a good team around her. And so she could take some time off and, you know, was able to be there for my childhood. It wasn't like a single mom that, you know, you never see. She was there, you know, all the time. She would always come on my school trips with me. She would always make time for holidays and stuff. And my whole family in general, you know, I've got obviously my cousins, all of those. We're like a big but close family. Ever since I was little, you know, my grandma used to own this house in Scotland. And we would always go up there like 2-3 times a year sometimes. The whole family, all of us together there for a couple of weeks at a time. My mum, luckily, you know, she took pictures and she was like, back then, you know, pictures and videos weren't really, you know, not a lot of people weren't doing it. And she was recording everything, so.
Videos, literally.
Yeah, we can like, she has albums, like albums and albums, like so much footage of just us, our whole childhood, ever since I was like a little baby.
So crazy.
You know what's crazy? She actually filmed giving birth to all of us. So there is actually a video out there of her, you know, everything that's going on there. I haven't seen it. You know? Like, I'm not gonna watch that. Yeah. But like, yeah.
So literally, really from the second you were born, you've been on camera.
Yeah. Straight
literally.
Literally, I've been doing this. You know. Birth.
Dude, that's kind of insane. I mean, you must be one of the really handful, but very few people on Earth that can say that. I mean, nowadays,
I think
nowadays, you know, it's the case.
Technology is advanced more.
But in your age, you know, being 24 years old almost, and you probably have video footage of you every single year of your life.
Every year, yeah.
That's, you know, now I don't know. I mean, dude, 24. Oh my God.
You're
24 and you were born after 2000.
I was 2001. That's crazy,
insane.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. Never mind, actually. You're not. Never mind. See, I'm 1996.
What are you, 96?
I'm 96. It's not that old. It's not much older, but it was.
So you're younger than Frazier then?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Frazier's what, 30? You're nearly there.
I'm pushing 30. I'm nearly there, yeah. I'm 29 this year.
Yeah,
but
bro.
That's pretty cool, though. That's cool to say. You have video for the second you were born.
Yeah.
You guys were destined to be YouTubers, huh?
I mean, yeah, she really put us on, I guess.
So you played a lot of video games when you were young. She didn't really push back on that. She let you do it.
Oh, no, she did, for sure. I would always have to hide it. You know, after school, she would try and make me do my homework and stuff. But she was at work, so I had like a period of like an hour, 2 hours, maybe if I'm lucky, where she was still working and then she'd come home. So I could like play my games and
stuff.
What
games were you playing?
Back then, I mean, the first game I remember was on a PSP. Like a Skull Rider. Okay. The one he's got the skull. But on an Xbox, probably the games I grinded the most was like Halo, COD 3.
COD 3, really?
Yeah, I used to love COD 3.
That's a good game, by the way. I've played it like last decade, but it's fun.
You ever play Civilization? Any of those? Like I like strategy games.
No, I never played those.
I love strategy games. Yeah. I still do. I still play some of those now. But yeah, probably the main one was Halo Wars, actually.
Okay. Oh, is that on the computer?
You could play on Xbox. It was like a strategy version.
That's cool. So you were very early on, like you said, maybe 11 years old. You started appearing in your brother's videos. So
Yeah.
did you enjoy being in his videos?
At first, I couldn't really. I was so shy. I'm such an introverted kid, and I was so shy, especially back then. You can barely hear my voice. I'm so quiet.
Yeah.
I'm so nervous. I don't know what was going on. And I remember we made my YouTube channel. I think we made it right after the video, and I gained like 10,000 subscribers. I was like, yo, what?
Really?
This is
Oh,
insane.
wow. He was in FaZe at the time.
He was in FaZe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2012.
I mean, he said he joined 2013, so maybe not.
So maybe not. Yeah,
Okay.
he might not have been FaZe yet.
Okay.
He was in Source. He was in something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You got 10K subs?
Yeah, I was
Did you make
gassed,
content
bro.
back then?
Barely,
Okay.
because I still didn't really know what I was doing, and I was just using everything I had was like hand-me-downs. So like I was using his old Alienware laptop with HD PVR.
Yeah.
I used to have that thing. That was like my first thing I recorded on.
Yeah. I'm glad you were in that era. You got to
Yeah.
see the HD PVR.
Yeah, bro.
That was legendary.
That fucking massive
Yeah.
box, like
Dude, I want to buy one. Like, 'cause I don't have my
Just-
original one. I need to just
just
have
to keep
one.
it on a shelf.
It's like a museum piece.
Yeah.
Anybody that had one of those.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's so interesting. Because your age, like, again, you're not that much younger, but when you were 10, 11, 12, like, being a YouTuber was already a thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
did you want to always be a YouTuber? Did you see that and wanted, like, especially your brother being one? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I always thought it was cool seeing him being one, and appearing in his videos and stuff. When I was 11, I was so more just enjoyed playing the game instead of like having to make a video or something. I would do a couple. I think I made like 10 videos total on Black Ops 2, just trying stuff out. Like I did like a trick shot race and stuff, but I was never really set on being a YouTuber. I had no real goal in mind yet. I was still so young. And then I kind of grew up a little bit, and it was kind of during school when, I was probably like 13, 14. So I was getting a little older. I was trying to be more social, I guess, and kind of stopped gaming as much. So like for like 2-3 years, I kind of more focused on like friends and school and, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And never really tried to be a YouTuber.
Were you still in your brother's videos at the time?
Yeah, no, I'd still appear. He would still prank me and stuff. That's when he kind of transitioned to like
to pranks,
pranks
challenges.
and stuff, and I was the, victim.
You were the target.
Yeah.
So did you like it, or were you like annoyed by being in the videos?
No, I was never annoyed unless it was like a annoying prank. Like I think one of the pranks was he did like 100 slaps, like with whipped cream on my face, and like he just tried to film it as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So I'm like getting slapped, washing my face, and it's just like
That's
I'm just trying to chill.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing
13 years old.
Yeah. But,
how early were you getting recognized? Like, were people at your school when you were 10, 11, or people were like,
No. So I remember my first interaction when I got a picture was in school. This kid, he was in the same house as me. I think I was pretty old. I was like 15 or 16.
Okay. No way, 16.
He was, I think I was,
no, that's when
15.
you joined FaZe, man.
No. I joined FaZe when I was, bro, I actually don't know.
I think you were 16. That's when it was 16.
Because it was,
that's when the 16-year-old brother title was.
I was in a period of time where I was like 14 for like 3 years. So like, who knows how old I was.
On
but,
YouTube, on YouTube, the
that
titles
title would always bang, 14-year-old, 15.
So you were 14 for 3 years on YouTube. That's so funny.
But I think the kid was like, he was like 11 years old.
Okay.
And yeah, that was a cool moment. It was in school too, which was crazy.
Oh, okay. That was obviously not Fortnite.
That was before Fortnite. Yeah, just before.
That's so funny. So I mean, you mentioned that you played video games, and
Yeah.
you had a period of time where you kind of left playing video. What other hobbies did you have though? You played sports or anything like that?
I played tennis when I was growing up. That was kind of when I was much younger though. I honestly stopped that when I was like 12, 13.
Yeah.
But like I used to play a lot. My auntie actually still plays. She still plays. She's like a coach. She kind of runs the tennis courts in my area. She's doing all that. But I used to play tennis before. Like I would play tennis before school.
Really?
Then I would go to school and then play tennis after school. So I'll play tennis like 10, 12 times a week sometimes. And I did some like tournaments and stuff. I won some local ones. And then I tried the harder ones, and I did pretty well. And then kind of got into gaming a little bit more. I didn't want to have to wake up at like 6 a.m. I was like, I've been up since like 4 a.m. I don't want to do this. So kind of transitioned out of that a bit.
You could have been a tennis pro.
I could have, yeah, maybe.
Were you good enough to maybe make it?
I mean, maybe if I was, locked in.
I mean, if you're doing boxing now, I mean, you probably could have done tennis.
I could have done it if I stayed focused, but my focuses were elsewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Well, did you have any jobs before you did YouTube?
I have never had a job.
Yeah.
I worked in my mom's salon, like a Saturday job.
Yeah.
And that was bad.
What did you do there?
I was really bad at that. Just cleaning. But it was me and my 2 friends from school. So we would just around. I'm sorry. But I'm sorry my mom's watching this, but we would just around and
would you clean like sweeping the hair and stuff?
Yeah, sweeping hair up, and we would kind of just sit in the back, pretend to be doing something. Yeah. And just chill. And
your mom honestly probably just wanted you guys
just wanted
somewhere where she could see you.
Exactly.
So she was low-key finessing you. You
thought for sure. I mean, that was definitely...
She probably didn't really care about the work you were doing. She just wanted you to be under her supervision.
Yeah, that was definitely in a period of time where I was kind of doing a lot of bad things,
Really?
Just
Jarvis,
school kid.
You're the innocent...
I was trying to be rebellious,
You're the innocent little brother, though.
Yeah.
What kind of bad stuff did you do?
Pretty
No way.
Pretty
Is that a
shit,
thing you could share?
I mean, when I'm like a kid in the UK, so it's kind of different to being like a kid in America, I guess.
What though? I have no idea what you're referring to.
I was like 15, 16, so it's kind of in a period of time where I was experimenting with stuff with friends. Have you ever seen that video?
I have seen that video.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't gonna ask about it.
Yeah, just like that. I was just I didn't know.
So your mom's definitely seen that video.
Doing. Yeah.
Your mom seen that video?
Oh yeah.
What did she? So there's a video of Jarvis experimenting.
I think I got beating for that or something. I definitely.
She saw that when you were around that age.
Yeah. I think Frazier probably gave it to me the worst.
Oh yeah. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, because that came out back in whenever it was first published, and then it got resurfaced when I was in FaZe.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but I saw a lot of the comments and stuff. People are like, he's I was 15. I'm from the UK. It was normal.
That was a specific drug people would try in the UK.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I remember seeing it when you were in FaZe.
I'm reformed now.
You're reformed.
I'm boxing. I'm big on my health and lifestyle.
That's funny. So you had a rebellious stage. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So then again, there's not that much time here until fast forward. You're in LA at the FaZe house. So really in between that and when you moved, was Fortnite really when you decided you're going to be doing YouTube full time or?
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, I was still kind of doing that when Fortnite was released. And then I think that honestly, Fortnite kind of helped me, put that to the side and
talk about the whatever.
The bad stuff.
The bad period of time. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it was a few years of that.
2 years probably.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm 14, 15. So
that's crazy.
Kind of started Fortnite when I was Frazier's video is I'm 15, but I think I was 16.
Okay.
Or, I think I was fresh, late 15, early 16 time. And I was still in school. I was doing my GCSEs back then, which some main exam you do when you're 16.
Yeah.
And Fortnite came out. I was just kind of playing with my friends and got hooked on that game. Frazier, I remember we were talking because he was living in LA at the time. He would come back and I would tell him yo, I'm actually sick of this game. And he wouldn't believe me. And then he came back. We filmed our first video where it's every kill you get 1,000 V-Bucks.
Yeah.
And I did really well, got sick gameplay, first game on. And he was oh.
Yeah.
He saw the potential.
His eyes were oh.
He saw his eyes turned gold. And and we just kind of kept going. He told me you should start streaming. Got my whole setup ready, started streaming. He helped out too, he would post me up, say, yo, he's live or whatever. And just kind of went from there.
And then, he told us a story about on the podcast I did with him about how he was going back and forth between UK and LA. Mm-hmm. And he literally would come into the UK, film a bunch of videos and fly to LA.
Yep.
And he said he landed in LA, he opened his phone and he saw the last Fortnite video with you exploded. He didn't have Wi-Fi on the airplane.
Yeah.
And he literally flew back the same day.
Yeah.
Literally straight same day, went back to the airport and came back to UK to film more videos and just dialed in.
That was the craziest time when that that period of time when Fortnite was just out, we were grinding out so many videos in like such a short amount of time. And then eventually it got to the point when I would fly out to LA. So I would fly there for 2 weeks because I was still in school. Fly out for 2 weeks and we would film like 3-4 videos a day, you know.
Yeah.
Get so many
Grinding,
videos done.
yeah.
And then I'd go back to school. He would be able to chill for a little bit.
So you ended up taking a break from school, of course.
Yeah,
at some point.
So I finished those exams. I actually passed them all, did good.
Okay.
And then I started college, we call it. I don't know what you call it. I'm like 17 at the time.
Yeah, your brother, we had the same conversation. High school, I think, for us.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I was in that. Luckily, during that time, like, it was much more chill. I would only have a couple lessons. But even still, like, I'm trying to stream every day and record my own videos. You know, I'm trying to take it serious. And my mum didn't really see it yet. And it got to a point where I just couldn't do all of it. I was like, this is just, I don't want to do any of this. I was doing subjects I didn't care about. So I was like, you know, told my mum. She was screaming at me in the morning, like, you got to go to school. And I just didn't get out of bed. Waited till she went off to work.
No way.
And then I got up, went, filmed a video, streamed, and never went back.
Wow.
Yeah. It was insane.
It's crazy, yeah.
And
I mean,
yeah, never been back.
Thankfully, obviously, she's your probably biggest supporter now.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, for sure.
But that's...
It's definitely tough at the beginning because, like, you know, it's school. I'm so young still. I'm like 17,
Yeah.
16, 17, but I saw potential.
Yeah.
I had to go for it.
No, and you know, thankfully you did. You ended up moving into the FaZe house. I mean, I thought it was at 16, but I guess I fell for the YouTube title.
I don't know. I might have been because I know I was coming out a lot. I would come out before I was even in FaZe.
Yeah, yeah.
I would stay in the guest room.
Yeah, downstairs.
Had my own setup and stuff, and
right
I was probably like 16 then. Yeah.
Yeah. See, 16.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you're like. I mean, if you're 24 this year, born 2001. I think you're like probably 16, 17. But yeah, you moved into the house before joining FaZe.
Yeah.
And then me and your brother have a story of how you joined FaZe. What do you remember from your perspective?
What do I remember? I remember him. He always told me how like he would go to these FaZe meetings and stuff and be like, "Yo, look at my brother. He's he's live right now, putting however many viewers I was doing good, decent numbers on YouTube." And he was like very persistent with like always saying my name.
Yeah.
And then I don't really remember. It kind of just, I think that's when the World Cup trials kind of started. And then I remember Frazier coming back one day and, taking me upstairs to the top floor. And I just see this plane like go across and it says like, "Welcome to FaZe."
Yeah.
That was the craziest day.
I remember that. I remember that day too. It was so cool.
But that's all I really remember.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know much of the behind the scenes of what Frazier was trying to do.
What I love about you is you just like, not that you don't care, but like you just show up and just do your thing. Like,
yeah,
you were just grinding Fortnite, and we'll talk about it in a second, I'm sure. But you almost literally qualified for the World Cup.
Yeah,
that was a heartbreaking.
2 times.
That was a heartbreaking day. I remember the one story, but I remember watching it, and you were very close. But I guess before all that, though, before joining FaZe, what was it like visiting LA for the first time? Because it's a big difference.
Insane.
Like, especially as a 16-year-old.
Yeah. Because like I was during that time it was like Clout House. You got all those videos like Rice Gum and stuff. So you would see this crazy, 4-story Hollywood house. And then actually going there for the first time, I'm from England, so the weather is just gray, wet, it's terrible. And so I come here, it's blue skies. It's like out of a movie.
Yeah.
It's actually out of a movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like still so young.
Yeah.
And then I go into the house, casually Rice Gum walks by, I'm so new to this still. Like I hadn't really seen too many like famous people like that. Yeah. And
because you were a big FaZe fan, right?
Experience. Yeah.
Like were you actually you'd watch a lot of FaZe videos? Like what era were you watching Trickshotting?
I mean back when it was Trickshotting, yeah. Like I watched a lot of the FaZe 5. I think I even tried to do the FaZe 5s back then.
Really? Okay.
But yeah, I would watch a lot of trick shots like Adapt. I would love watching Adapt. To watch some of your videos.
That's sick.
And of course Rain.
Yeah.
Big Rain.
So you got to meet when you're meeting everyone. It was like the little 10-year-old in you was.
I was like, what is going on?
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
And you got put in straight to a room and like I think everyone became your biggest fan. Like fast forward a couple of weeks where everyone's watching you play for Fortnite, trying to get.
I was kind of like the little brother
and
in
so
the house.
Exactly. You were like everyone's little brother. Yeah,
yeah.
That's cool. That's a cool. It was like a cool. That was a cool era.
Yeah,
like
very
it was. You know, because I was asking Kay about like how does it feel bringing your little brother? Because you know there's parties and things that go like there's bad parts of LA. You know what I mean?
Of course,
too. And I think he was nervous about it a little bit too. But I think everybody looked at you as like a little brother to be protected.
They would protect me. Yeah, for sure. And bro, even back then, like there would be some parties going on in the house, and I'm just in my room just playing Fortnite.
It's cool, man. Were you once you started Fortnite? Were you like, was that all you were interested in? I mean, obviously you've done a lot of content since then, but was the IRL content kind of stuff that you wanted to do, or you really just like? Did you just?
I had never planned on doing too much IRL content. There would be some videos where it would be a mix of IRL plus gaming, but my sole focus, especially on my channel, was just purely gaming.
Yeah, what it looked like from my perspective. It's like you just literally liked playing Fortnite,
man,
and you're just
that was it.
You'll just you're like your brother come with the idea, come with the camera.
Yeah,
you just want to play.
Yeah,
and it obviously streamed a lot too.
Mm-hmm. I would just wake up every day, and you know, first thing I'd do is brush my teeth, and then instantly get on, not even filming a video or nothing. And then I would do all my work during the day and then get straight back on.
So how does it feel? Like, again, like when I did YouTube for the first decade, like I was filming, editing, thumbnails, ideating, uploading. Like I had to do the whole process. So for you, like, it seems like from the beginning, you kind of like, your brother was just like, you know, you just sit, film, and then he would do the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that must be a great feeling knowing it's your brother. Because people maybe have management and stuff, but it's not the same when it's someone you can completely blindly trust. Yeah. Like your brother.
It was great how the way we had it set up for in Weed Lake, those houses where every like Monday morning we would have a brainstorm meeting. We would have a whiteboard. We would have my channel, Fraser's channel, shared channel, come up with video ideas for each of us every day. His were different to mine. His were more like chat, like, you know, a mix of IRL gaming challenge type style. And mine was purely just only gameplay. Yeah. So it would be videos that I enjoyed watching anyway. And I'd be like, oh, this is a cool challenge. I want to do this. So I'd write that down. And that was it. And we just grind out all videos for the week and just rinse and repeat. It was just a cycle of just doing that every single day.
So you obviously were very content heavy. Even like you said, you guys had your Kay and Jarvis channel too. Yeah. You're reacting to videos. You had a whole system. Yeah. So did you enjoy making content, or did you really just... Because you were, at the same time, you were trying to go pro, right? And compete for the World Cup, so...
Yeah, it was like a gray area. Because I was like, if I slowed down on the content and really, you know, focus, I could try go pro. Or is it more worth sticking to content and, you know, having that on the side?
I think maybe, like, financially the content, but the gaming was probably a huge passion. Like, probably enjoyed... Is it fair to say you enjoyed that way more?
Way more, for sure.
So tell us about almost qualifying for the World Cup, because I remember from my perspective. But what happened? How did you? You know, that would have been insane. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But
insane. I wasn't even there, which was crazy. I had to get a new visa, so I was out of the country.
Oh man.
But I just remember, you know, the previous weeks I'd done okay, getting pretty close. We were on the West Coast, so it was only top 2 people that could qualify each week. I remember playing, you know, I did my same strategy. Everything was going great. All my games leading up to it. I was, I think, first or second on the leaderboard. And there was, you know, a few people behind me that weren't too close to me. So I had 10 minutes left, and I just needed to get into the game, land on my drop, you know, farm, whatever, get to last, get some placement points. I didn't even need any kills. I just purely needed placement points, which was easy. You know, you had the ballers back then, so I could just sit in that all game.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm streaming at the time too. You know, I streamed all of it. And I remember just time goes by. It's like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I'm like, oh, what's going on? 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Eventually it gets to like 9 minutes. And it says like, I think I remember it saying like waiting for server. You know when it says that? That means you're loading into a game, and then it just all cut out. Time was over, and I just had to hope no one else got higher than me, and someone did,
Okay.
and I got pushed down to like 4th place, and just lost out on
Dude, I literally
50K minimum. 50K minimum.
Oh, you went for qualifying.
Qualify, you get 50K.
Damn.
Everyone did, yeah. But
I mean, at that time too, like qualifying for the World Cup would have been like, as a YouTuber, like at the
Yeah.
time, one of the biggest names
one
in
of
Fortnite.
the biggest
Like,
things ever, the content I could have made around that too. It's just
especially like when you're,
silly.
FaZe World Cup, it was huge.
Yeah,
We had like Dubs and Mega and
and who else
Mongrel.
was? Yeah, Mongrel was in it.
That was a huge weekend, but like I can't imagine if you qualified.
In New York too. Like I don't think I had even been to New York really. So
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember watching, and you had 10 minutes remaining, and it just didn't load you in. That was such bad luck.
So pissed.
But it's crazy because you could have been pro, like for sure. You were that close. I mean, you basically made it. So for a little bit, you continued doing a little bit of both. Like you were mainly content. I mean, you guys had like so much stuff you did. The timeline in my head's a little blurry.
It is, mate. Honestly, for me too. It's like a blur. That whole period of time.
What about Mind of Rez and his brother?
Oh my god.
When was what the hell was all that? Like
that's when I was pure content.
Okay, that was before this.
That was after.
Oh,
that was
okay.
after the World Cup.
Okay.
So then I think after the World Cup, that's when I kind of really going pro. It could happen, but this content is going so well. I have to, put all I can into this.
Okay. How did you guys you guys just found this other pair of brothers and you guys just started making?
I don't even remember. It was Frazier.
Yeah.
Frazier found them somehow. He talked to Rez. I think we had made some videos because he lived in
New York, I think?
Yeah, somewhere on the East Coast. And we made some videos together. And then eventually he moved out to LA. He got a house out there. So we were just making so many videos together. Because it was like we had, the people that watched our videos were
The same audience.
audience. So
it's so crazy.
that kid was insane too.
Was he?
What's
his name?
Yeah.
Kalen,
yeah. Like just the way he acted on camera was just so funny.
Was he good at really good at Fortnite?
Yeah, he was. He wasn't insane, but they'd still do videos now.
Yeah,
I
seen
actually
them.
watched one recently. Someone brought it up to me because that kid's he's actually really good.
I saw.
He's much more. He's older, so he's got like a deep voice. Back
Yeah.
then, he was like so squeaky.
Is he younger than you?
Yeah,
Oh,
for
okay.
sure. He's like a few years younger than me at least. But yeah, he's actually really good. He plays on keyboard and mouse now, and
So funny.
he's cracked.
You guys had like
We had some beef.
Yeah, you had like beef with
Yeah.
them. Like, you had this crazy how your audience was literally straight little kids
I know.
for
yeah.
so many years.
But I mean, like off camera, we're of course cool.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, of course.
And then on
you
camera,
did.
we're like beefing.
That's how I told Kay it's like WWE.
Yeah.
Like you guys had like a WWE channel for a little bit. That was one of the the rivalries that you had.
Yeah.
But you guys did a really good job at all that content. It was funny to see. Like I love that you guys just did it. Like you didn't care what anyone.
No.
Because like Nick A30 for example gets a lot of heat for being family friendly or whatever.
Yeah.
Rug gets hate for family friendly, quote unquote. But it's like you're making content for a specific audience. Like,
Yeah,
what's the issue?
And it's doing so well. People are enjoying it. So
You have a lot of little kids that would come up to you at that time.
yeah, loads.
Like all like straight up
Ooh.
elementary school kids.
All
Like,
young kids, like 10, 11, 12 years old. Some younger, there was like 6-year-olds, 7, 8-year-olds that it's just insane.
it's because you guys it was like clean content too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
kids
for
can
sure.
watch it.
Yeah.
So
But it's crazy going back now because a lot of these kids have grown up. So like sometimes we're out in public and they'll recognize me and they're like, yo, I used to watch you when I was like 10 years old. And this kid's like all grown up now. He's like 16, whatever. It's just cool seeing that.
That's so interesting because
Being part of their childhood.
yeah, it's so
Crazy.
interesting because we get the same thing, but like
Yeah.
our people say that was in 2014 in the New York
yeah.
house. And then I did a podcast with Jesse Well. You probably don't know who Jesse Wellens is from Prank vs. Prank.
Wait.
You were so little, man.
the
So I know him
the
old.
girlfriend and boyfriend?
Yeah. Okay, you know them.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure.
But
I
his
used to watch
fans
them
are in
and
their
stuff.
30s now.
That's
I'm just saying, like all these
insane.
generations,
Yeah.
everybody has the same experience. But even
Yeah.
you, people telling you that already is crazy.
Because
It hasn't been that long.
there's definitely some where like some that are the same age as me, so they're growing up with me
Yeah,
whilst I'm getting older. It's just so weird to think about.
It
You
is.
see it.
So you obviously were completely dialed in on content, and then the biggest thing to happen in your life happened, right? You're making content.
Yeah.
You get a video idea, probably that you just write on the whiteboard one day, hacking or whatever the hell it was,
Yeah.
just aimbot in Fortnite. Like, could you even imagine how much that changed everything?
Yeah, I mean, bro, I wouldn't change anything. You know, I'm glad how everything played out.
Really?
But
Okay. But please tell us from your perspective, what is that? Like, was it just an idea you threw on the board you didn't think much of? What was it
Yeah,
like
I
to
mean,
post the
bro.
video? What happened after? Like,
because Fortnite, you know, obviously has its phases of, especially that was much later on in Fortnite. So there was phases where, you know, the views were fluctuating a lot. So I'm always trying to come up with the craziest, you know, most clickbaity title videos. And the thing was crazy is I remember seeing a couple videos on YouTube of other big creators doing it. They were like aimbotting and I don't know, remember what the title was. It was like aimbotting in Fortnite. I didn't actually do any more research than that though.
okay.
I didn't look into how they filmed it. So I was like, you know, other people have done it before. Let's run it.
Yeah.
You know, that's a crazy idea.
Yeah.
And I then made the video. I don't even remember how I found the person that.
The aimbot. Where'd you download the aimbot,
Bro, you know what's crazy? He still messages me now. I remember like I didn't message back for a while. There was, you know, a lot going on, but like he was like, bro, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I'm so
no
sorry.
way.
But like now we're all cool. You know, I talk to him here and there.
Dude, he
but
probably it's so
he
something
probably
so funny for
so
him.
bad.
There's probably so many people in his
Yeah.
life is like, dude, I'm the one that gave Jarvis
Yeah,
aimbot.
bro, yeah.
That's so funny.
But yeah,
It's your
and
aimbot dealer.
really, yeah, and I'm pretty sure he still sells cheats. Like I remember I was playing Rust. Like I play a lot of Rust.
Yeah.
This is like recently, like a year, 2 years ago, and he was like, yeah, if you ever need Rust cheats,
Oh
let
my
me know.
God.
I'm like, bro,
This guy didn't learn his lesson.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, crazy time. And then of course, looking back at it now, I've watched those videos of these other people doing it, and they're just third party. So
They weren't
they're
actually playing.
They're random duo. You know, of course they know the person. It's a random duo that got in that game.
Okay.
Has got aimbot.
Okay.
So
So,
should have really just looked into that. a little
well,
bit
you know,
more.
it's funny because in Black Ops 2, we used to do it so much.
Yeah.
I'd always get a J tag or get me hacked. I made so
Yeah.
many videos.
Tenser, right? That was his whole thing.
He faked the clip.
He faked
That's
the clip.
different.
Yeah.
We used to literally do aimbot and like, I honestly though I could see the problem with it because I'm not saying we're the reason, but like we used to do it and they didn't really regulate it at all. But like the lobbies got so out of control.
Yeah.
So I feel like Fortnite just had to make an example,
For
you know,
sure.
out of somebody. But did you really think it was gonna be a permanent ban? First
No.
off, how did you even hear about it?
So
'Cause you were in
I
FaZe at the time,
remember-
right?
Yeah. So I remember, you know what's also crazy, one thing before. I remember putting a tweet out saying, new video, I used aimbot in Fortnite, go check it out. And one of the comments, Benji Fishy, he replied to me and he actually DM'd me. He was like, yo, this is a really bad idea. You shouldn't do this.
Oh no.
I was like, no, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And now, but
Yeah.
what was the question?
Like how long was it up? Do you remember how did it happen? I'm sure they
Oh, yeah,
contacted
yeah.
FaZe.
Yeah, so I remember I was checking my creator code and it didn't let me log in.
Oh,
It
no.
said, you know, I said something like you're banned or something. So I checked my email. I got this email from Epic Games saying, you've been banned for cheating. I had that YouTube video taken down. And I remember calling Jordan. It's like, yo, what's going on? Like,
It was
can you-
Jordan's your manager.
Jordan's manager,
Yeah.
yeah. And, you know, he was in FaZe at the time.
Yeah.
So he asked FaZe to, you know, ask their Fortnite connects, you know, what's going on. And they just said, we can't have this. You know, you're promoting cheating. It's against TOS. This is going to be an indefinite ban. That's what they said. And I was like, what do I do now?
Did you ever think it was gonna actually be permanent?
No. I had a couple videos pre-filmed already. So I was like, okay, I'll just post these videos. I came up with a couple other ones that I could make without having to
Play Fortnite.
play Fortnite. And then I remember just like sitting with Frazier and like I'm still so young. And we were doing our whiteboard. You know, we're planning out videos for the week. And I'm like, bro, what do I do? And I was so lost. I was tripping out, you know. That's all I had been doing for 3-4 years.
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong. They were like, I remember hearing things about the way that they banned you that I was shocked. Like you couldn't even play the game, even offline. Like they didn't even want you to play it.
No.
Right?
I mean, my account gone, you know? I spent so much money on that account.
But if you made another account and played and they found out, they'd ban it.
Yeah. And that's just ban evading too, so that's really bad. You know, that would make it even worse if, like, what's going on now. Say if I had done that back then, tried to ban evade, you know, make a video saying it, pick whatever, I would have never got a second chance.
And then before we get to that, because now it seems like there is a way you're going to get unbanned, right? But I remember hearing something, please correct me if I'm wrong, where they literally, there was like some comment that they made that was basically like, they wanted to, your ban was so deep that even if you had a kid in the future, that he would not be able to play Epic Games.
Really?
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
I wish I can, I can figure out
maybe
where that
you heard something that I didn't.
No, probably, because I was very involved at, like,
that's what I'm saying,
with the management of FaZe at the time. But I remember there was something they said, which was
my
like,
kids, bro.
I swear to God, I remember hearing
it's
it.
It's a generational.
Like, it was something crazy like that, like extended. Like,
that's insane.
They wanted to make sure that even when you have like a kid, that they're not able to. I was
my
like,
bloodline.
I was like, what?
I'm done.
Like, come on.
They don't even get a chance.
What you did was that crazy, but it was insane.
Yeah, I mean, now looking back on it, they've had so many different scenarios where these guys have cheated in tournaments for money on the line, but they're not like a influencer or whatever, so they get a ban that is nowhere near as bad, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, you know.
I saw them recently, like they sued someone that cheated. Did you see that?
I think so,
cheated.
yeah.
He won a tournament. They made him pay back the money. They sued him, and they made him post like a public apology.
Really?
You didn't see that?
No, they did actually send me a cease and desist though. My mom got served. That was that was 2 years ago. She got served at her work.
No.
You know, some lady came up and just
At her work?
yeah. In
No
England, but
way.
that was actually pretty bad. That was because of that was my fault for sure.
Because you played it, right?
No. We were doing like we found this Epic Games building in England. And we were doing some protests and stuff. I actually had to take down the videos. You know, the videos aren't on YouTube. I can't post them.
Yeah.
Or else I'll get sued and that.
Yeah.
And, you know, we had a bunch of kids. You know, we rounded up loads of kids from school. Come with us. We all wrote signs, like, protesting outside this building.
That's so funny.
And it's because we, like, showed the building. We did too much.
You, like, kind of doxed their location.
Yeah, like, one of the videos, the whole mission was, I'm going to try sneak into the building and, you know, get into the mainframe and ban myself. But I had like a hidden camera on me. I like went inside the building.
You actually went in?
Yeah, so I was trespassing essentially. So that was not great.
Yeah.
Took down the video as you apologized.
Yeah, it's again like when you're in the YouTube
just
mindset,
content, you know,
you're not
like,
thinking that.
I'm
deep.
not thinking. Yeah, exactly.
That's a banger video.
I don't think
into the Epic.
I don't think of the repercussions.
Breaking into the Epic headquarters sounds like a.
It banged. Dude.
Yeah,
it went crazy.
But then you realize that I'm trespassing and filming myself trespassing.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny. And you obviously you had a few live streams in the house when you were here in LA still.
Yeah.
Where you guys played Fortnite, but you had like someone else playing.
Yeah, you know Slater.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played for me. He had like a similar kind of play style. He was on like a controller too. And he was just right off to the side of me. That was actually one of my best videos I think I've ever done, where we like tricked the whole internet. I remember I went live, like we did the whole build up, you know, the whole era. We did the tweet, getting everyone gassed about it, and then had Slater off to the side. We made sure to record like what we should have done, because I had a controller in my hand. I should have had like, you know, a banana or something, so they could clearly see that I wasn't playing. But we made sure to show, you know, it was Slater, but that stream banged.
It had like what, 40K viewers?
Yeah, 40-50K viewers.
So crazy. Just you playing Fortnite.
Yeah, and then I got banned. I got banned in the game. They banned my account. I accidentally leaked the user ID, whatever, and they banned the account in the game, which made the video so much better. I didn't tell Jordan about it.
Yeah. Oh, and he was probably stressed.
All of FaZe were tripping out.
Yeah.
They were tripping out. Yeah.
Because, dude, by the way, I remember like Epic was weird with us. I don't know what the relationship's like now, but that because
I mean,
we went to,
I probably
no, but like we went to the World Cup.
Oh, even then.
And we were getting swarmed at the World Cup.
Yeah.
And they were like mad about it. Like, dude, we can't do anything about it. Like,
bro,
they didn't give us any like special seats or anything. I'm not saying they should have, but we were just sitting with the crowd.
That's crazy.
And the IOs would get like, you know, we had like 15, 20 FaZe members deep.
Yeah,
and the IOs would get like packed.
That was like prime Fortnite too.
Yeah,
I know High Sky was there.
and they were like pissed about it. They're like really weird with us. So that probably didn't help the relationship when you played with that too. Whatever, it's all funny. It's all funny looking back at.
It is.
How did it feel? Like I don't know. I don't know if I should say you're not that emotional, but I feel like you're not the most emotional guy. Obviously, there's the viral meme of you crying in the video, which like over 20 million views.
Yeah.
But how did that really feel like?
Like I said, I'm not like an emotional person like that, but there can, for sure, something that impacts me personally, financially even. It's a big deal, And I was like 17. My whole life was Fortnite. That's all I was thinking about. That's all I was doing. That's all I enjoyed.
Then you had probably thousands of tweets making fun of you every day.
Of course, yeah.
For crying, right? How did you feel like, or did you get
I kind of just got like numb to it, Like I really just focus on like the good over the bad. Everyone's going to have an opinion, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to keep doing my own thing.
So it didn't really affect you too deep?
No, maybe it did. Maybe I just don't realize it. Kind of growing up now, it's funny. Yeah, I find it funny to look back at that. It's a cringe video for me to watch. Like, I don't think I could watch the full thing.
You crying?
Yeah. I'd laugh, be like,
that was awkward, real, right? Like, that was really your reaction.
Bro, a lot of people thought I faked that.
Yeah.
And like, I can act in videos, sure, like, I can't fake something like that.
I can imagine. Bro. Again, you're young and you just fell into this career that's very big, and you're like the biggest name, one of the biggest names of Fortnite. Sure, so that's a lot. And I'm sure your brother was good throughout it, and your mom.
Oh yeah,
you had people around you supporting you.
Yeah,
because again, like
I wasn't planning on crying. Like they didn't tell me like you have to cry in this video. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just naturally happened when I was reading it. It's just kind of
hit me.
Yeah. Like,
did you really stop playing all these years?
Yeah, for sure. I haven't touched it ever since. I'm getting unbanned, bro, in like 2 weeks. Come on, like I got 2 weeks left.
Okay, so explain.
No, I honestly don't though. Like I actually don't. Like
okay, you haven't played since the ban.
Yeah.
Of course. Explain the unbanned. So you really get unbanned or what,
mate? I found out like I had like Allier hit me up, clicks and stuff. They were all messaging me. There's a new update coming out. It's meant to come out this month. It's April 1st. It hasn't. The new update's come out, but not the new ban, anti-cheat, whatever update. Where if you have been banned for, if it's your first time offense and you have been banned for 2 years, you will be unbanned. Fits me in that category. Maybe I'm gonna be.
You never got confirmation though from Epic that you're gonna be unbanned.
No.
Have you tried at all? Reached out?
I don't know, honestly, but I don't know if I want to.
You just want to kind of see if it works.
Kind of just want to see, like, I'm just praying, I've definitely done some videos where I pushed the limits.
Yeah, but
But I haven't evaded the ban. I haven't actually filmed a video of me playing Fortnite.
You never did?
Never.
You played like the older versions and
yeah,
like
I played like the fake Fortnites and stuff. But I was very, careful.
Yeah.
Because, bro, I'm not trying to get sued either by Epic Games. Like,
especially how much money they have.
Yeah.
Again, like if they wanted to make an example out of someone, they will easily do it, and they did. I mean, look at them with Apple. Yeah. They went to court with Apple, bro. Over trying to just make an example out of.
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna pay Apple extra. That's
scary,
Especially that kid.
Yeah.
They had him recently. Like, I think it was a good decision not to.
Yeah.
But how long did it take you to kind of decide to just move on and focus on other content? Because
I mean, bro, I still talk about it now.
Yeah.
I'm still doing some clickbait videos.
I saw you posted like 2 days ago.
Yeah, bro. I mean, they still do well, so it's like funny, but it's at a point now where I can't. There's nothing else I can think of. Yeah, I'm out of ideas. Yeah. So,
do you think it helped your like brand getting banned?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it took away Fortnite from you.
Took away Fortnite, but I guess it added something else. It's something I'm known for now.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So now, after all these years of baiting the return, right? If you get unbanned, do you think you're gonna really like deep dive into Fortnite again?
I want to take it pretty serious. I'm gonna film, of course, lots of videos around it, but I think it would be a sick story if I could try and just qualify for a FNCS. You know, of course, I'm not gonna win,
Yeah.
but like even just being able to qualify to get into that stage would be pretty crazy.
Would
6
be.
years later, not playing the game, like actually not playing the game.
Yeah.
Uh,
Even if you played it, by the way, playing competitive is way different.
Bro,
Having to learn all the metas.
so
and, yeah.
hard now. Like
I mean, you saw
see-
Mongrel come back and do pretty well.
And he
but-
struggles, yeah.
and
You know
he
what
was
I'm
one of
saying?
the best pros.
Yeah, he was the best at the time, and it's tough. You know, it's always evolving. Kids are just kids. Some kids are getting younger, and they're just getting better. So
Crazy. But obviously you're fully dedicated to boxing now, which we'll get to very soon. But
yeah,
do you think you would literally split off some of that time to focus on Fortnite?
no, I definitely. You know, boxing is actually a real passion I have now.
Yeah.
Like I love waking up and doing that every day. So I would never completely cut ties with that.
No, of course not cut ties.
Or
but
like I would never
you wouldn't give
shift
up.
my focus. Like my focus would still be on boxing,
Mm.
and then the Fortnite stuff will be on the side. You know?
Okay. But we might really see like a Fortnite revival for you.
Bro, yeah, it would be crazy.
Listen, man, I still
I've
think
got-
there's so much there with content and
Yeah, I've got a big stream planned for the return whenever
Really?
that happens. Yeah,
Okay.
just the first game back,
That's awesome. That's gonna go crazy.
being able to load up and being able to do it myself.
Even like you
insane.
just said, you had Allier and Clicks reaching out. Like
Yeah.
all the biggest names of Fortnite are still talking about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Cypher, they're all gonna talk about
Yeah,
it if you come
yeah.
back. So very interesting.
Will be-
It's cool that you could just pop back in.
Yeah.
And I think you were good enough to still be very good today.
Yeah, I feel like it would be muscle memory to a certain point.
Yeah.
I'll be able to build and edit and stuff. Shoot, my aim will probably be good. But,
We're waiting
it
for
would
it.
take some time. Yeah.
We're waiting for it. Well, I guess around your after that you continue making content. You and Kay
Yeah.
made so much content every day on multiple channels and just beefed out content nonstop.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're open to sharing, but do you remember what like a really high month would be of like how much money you'd be bringing in doing all that stuff? Because you were streaming on Twitch. You were pretty big. How big did your Twitch get at some point?
What era are we talking about?
Just your peak Fortnite, or even just content after. I don't know. What was your most like lucrative time of making content?
Obviously, the Fortnite was crazy because I'm posting videos every single day.
Yeah.
But then after that, the Clybourne house.
Yeah.
That was also crazy. I had T-Wop with me, who was, we did really well together during that time. But then with the Fortnite, I had the creator code as well. So back then, when I'm pumping out that many videos, like a month, you want to go higher or lower?
You want me to give you a number? You're saying higher or lower?
Yeah.
Like 200K a month?
Yeah.
Around. Not even
Right,
higher or lower.
probably-
Right on the dot.
Probably around that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
For sure.
In that prime.
It's definitely hard, it's such a blur back then. where
Yeah. That's beautiful,
there's-
bro.
I wasn't even focused on that.
No, I know. That's the best
I don't
part
even
of-
look at it.
That's
Like,
the best
it's
part of
crazy.
it. The best
Yeah.
part, that's how you know it was like, I think back to the New York house too. Like, that's probably, there's a few months there where I made the most money I probably ever made. And I never even cared.
Yeah.
That's how you
Because
know
you're just enjoying
the content.
yeah,
It's fun.
so fun.
That's why like I'm asking like how you felt after, because I'm sure like the money and stuff obviously like that's gonna
Yeah.
affect anyone mentally, but also
Sure.
just ripping away that something you really really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And like literally the company like hates you. It feels like they're trying to ban your lineage from playing. That's a crazy thing.
Yeah, going from that to having that revenue source like cut
Completely
off.
cut. And the creator code was probably a good amount.
Yeah,
But the
yeah,
amount of money,
definitely.
even myself, I've made like decent money on the creator code, and I never had like a Fortnite audience.
Yeah.
The amount of money, like, and I did a podcast with Ninja. At his peak, he was making like 5 million a month
Which
on the
is,
creator code.
insane.
I'm sure do you remember not how much money, but how many people you had using your code?
Oh, I think
What was it, like tens of thousands, hundreds of
no,
thousands?
I think I definitely got. I think it's so hard, but I think I saw 100,000
Yeah, that's
on
crazy.
the code.
Yeah.
I don't remember the whole the revenue side of it.
What's crazy is that's only like I think like 10 or 15% of how much they spend in V-Bucks.
Yeah, that's what.
And
it
like
is.
people are making like if Ninja made 5 million,
Exactly.
that means that they made
How
50
many-
million off his code.
Yeah.
That's just one person's code in the item shop.
Bro. Epic Games they're caking in it.
It's insane, man.
Scissors is another person that made.
I remember
loads of
him
money.
talking about
That
what
was
she
his,
made.
his main source of income.
Him and Tifu, because they were both
Yeah.
in LA at that time. They were both, Scissors had his
Going band for band.
the Scissors had his death run which is insane now. Thinking if he had that now, how much money he would have made off people just playing it.
So much.
He would have made, guys, I'm not trolling. He probably would have made like, dude, how much do you think? I don't know.
Some of these,
like a day, like 10K a day.
Yeah.
Like
No,
minimum.
I swear, like some of these guys make like multiple M's a month.
Yeah, these guys are making like two plus.
And like a lot of these people that are making these maps, they aren't even creators. Like
they just made a good map. Dude,
Yeah.
it's like Tilted Zone Wars. It's been around since 2018.
The top guys, I remember I was talking to Cypher PK about it. It's the same top few people that are making the most money because they did it from the very beginning, popped off early, and now they're on like a good side with Epic. So whenever they make a map, Epic Games pushes it, and
it's crazy.
It's an infinite money glitch.
I looked into that stuff like last year. I was very interested in it because I was trying to figure out what content I want to make. I thought about Fortnite. Dude, the amount of money you can make, it's just crazy. It's like if you have people on your server, like 1,000 people playing all day, you're making like
seriously, it's crazy.
Like 30K a month.
Yeah.
So imagine the numbers. Like So Scissors, that was before obviously, but he would have made millions a month probably. But he still made a good amount because his code got pushed.
He still made so much,
All those people, their code on the map.
You would accidentally click it. You would misclick.
Yeah.
And you would put their code in without realizing, which is cool.
I think he had like 400K people using his code.
Yeah.
Crazy. So Tfue also, like Ninja. Imagine the biggest names. Myth. They probably like... crazy.
Well, has that ever been done before, like a creator code like that?
Not in that way.
Because I know Warzone tried to do something like that.
Yeah, bro, that was too late. COD, Black Ops 2 era, we were begging for like a FaZe skin. Not even to make money, just put us in the game.
Yeah, bro.
They wouldn't do it. So Epic changed everything.
They did, yeah.
And then they don't have to share any of that money. That's what I think. That's what I respect about Epic.
Yeah.
Although they banned you, and I think that they're crazy for that. I respect they've shared so much money.
They really changed the game, the whole ecosystem.
I can't believe how much they pay out still to this day.
Yeah.
Even paying people to just have people on your server, dude, it's crazy.
And I mean, just the World Cup, like...
Yeah, 30 million. Like Scissors, I remember Scissors that weekend. He won like a... Now we're pocket watching Scissors so hard on this, but he won like it wasn't like a real...
Yeah, no, it was
like
a
a pro...
The creative World
creative
Cup.
one, yeah. He won first place. He won like 400K.
He won a lot of money, bro.
He was like memeing. They were playing like fake maps.
It was like a death run type thing.
Yeah, he just went in. He's like, oh, we're literally at a FaZe dinner with everybody. I swear to God. Everyone was there. He's like, I gotta go play in this thing. My guy goes, he comes back, he won 400K. I was like, what is it? Was literally fake.
I'm sure he celebrated.
It was just fake, bro. It just felt fake. Booga won 3 million that day. That's crazy. That was a crazy time. Hopefully your creator code will come back and...
Yeah, that would be interesting to see. I doubt it.
No, listen, I'm telling you, I had a little Snapchat Fortnite era where I was posting on Snapchat a lot. And I got a good amount of people on my code.
Snapchat's crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
I got a good amount of people using my code.
Through Snapchat?
Yeah.
Really?
I think if you...
I mean, mate, I would love to have it back.
I think people are going to jump all over it.
That would be sick.
It would be sick.
I'm just trying to get unbanned. That's the first step.
I know.
Whatever comes after, that would be...
I'm
bonus.
just excited for you. You deserve it now. Dude, it's cool. To me, I think it's really dope that all the biggest creators are still talking about you. Like, they want to make content with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how you know your name is going to still be there. I'm excited to see the first stream back.
Yeah, same.
It's going to be cool.
It's something that I had been doing for so long. It still gets me so excited thinking about just being able to do that.
So not too long after that, like as if that wasn't hard enough, the Save the Kids thing happened, right? And I talked to Kay. I talked to Kay in like detail about it, right?
Yeah,
Your brother.
He knows.
We spoke all about it. Whoever is interested in like all the details of it, it's on the podcast with him. But clearly your brother was like the face of the whole.
Yeah.
When I say the face, like he's the one that got the most attention on it.
For sure.
You were basically instantly like put into the green.
I mean,
you were like, you're fine.
Frazier tried to do that. He tried to push me, Tico and Nikon. We were the people that like put our faces on it. He tried to push us out to the side. It was like, I'll take the hit type kind of, that kind of thing. And just a tough time. That whole period was very weird.
Yeah. It was, again, like, maybe you just recovered in some ways from this Fortnite stuff. You're back on content. You guys were crushing it. And then this thing hit. And then obviously, like, you guys, I guess, quote unquote, got suspended from FaZe. K got kicked because he, at the time, whatever. All things were pointing to like him being like he was like the mastermind. It's just crazy to watch that unfold.
It was.
But Yeah, like that. Like you had two big both of those things kind of back to back. Like
Yeah,
probably
just
felt like your career was gonna be over when you got banned.
again.
You're back, and then that happened.
Yeah.
So from your perspective, what was that experience like? Like,
Bro, that was just right after my fight, and I remember we were trying to think, like, do we make a video about this? Like, what do we even say? You know, there was so much going on, and of course, I wasn't there behind the scenes, like, of the whole, the coin, and, you know, I just kind of filmed that video, put my face on it. You know, I was focusing on my fight at the time. That was my first fight, so I was training every day, twice a day. Really locked in on that. And I remember I won the fight, and then a week later we got back to England. Everyone came back to England. It was like T-Wop, Kevin, who used to work for me, Tico. You know, everyone came back, and then that whole storm happened. I was like, I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
And FaZe, of course, had to get lawyers involved. Internet was going insane. I remember just like shutting down everything. Like I just wasn't even going on my phone. I just went completely dark. I kind of went into like a hole. Like, I didn't want to make any content. I didn't want to do anything. Went back to gaming almost. Like just kind of like a comfort thing for me, because I was scared, lost. I didn't know like what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
So I got addicted to Rust actually during that time. Got really out of shape, and yeah, it was just very weird time. You know, FaZe was trying to deal with it all. We'd have these calls with the lawyers. I remember speaking to FaZe a little bit about it, because they, you know, after a little bit of time had passed, and FaZe was of course kicked. He wasn't coming back, and I had a call with like Darren and Vera. I remember talking to them. They were like, you know, what's your plans? Do you want to still be with FaZe, or what do you want to do? And I just told him, like, you know, if Fraser's not going to be there, I can't be there. You know, me and him have been doing this forever. It wouldn't feel right, and it would just be so weird being, you know, still in FaZe without him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, so we kind of, you know, went our separate ways. I was still just dark, not really doing anything. Got fat. Put on a lot of weight actually during that time, and I was just gaming.
So when it, like, I mean, just like your content, right? We spoke about how you kind of just it's like, I feel like you show up. There's like here's what we're doing. You film and you leave.
Yeah,
that's kind of how the filming that video was for Save the Kids. You didn't know anything really before or after that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even it was like the
launch video, right?
Yeah, the launch. It was just like, I don't even remember what I said. I had a line, I said it, and then I just went on with my day.
So you didn't know anything about the coin. So when that happened,
really.
right? I mean, there's you, right? The thing about you and your brothers, you guys are very close, which I've mentioned multiple times with both of you, right? But you are going through your own thing.
Yeah.
Your name's attached to it. I'm sure you feel some type of way. I mean, I feel like thankfully maybe you don't get it. I'm not gonna say you don't care, but I feel like maybe it didn't. Things like that maybe might not affect you as much as others.
Yeah.
But how did it feel seeing your brother? Because like he was like, again, like people were painted the way he was being painted. Understandably,
so bad,
at first,
you know, I was so angry as well at the time. Of course, you know, with just how everything went down. Like a lot of people that were involved on the back end, that you know, we thought were like friends and cool, just kind of cut him off, and it's just tough to see that, you know. So it really, you know, made me realize like you gotta keep some people closer than others, and you know, you can't trust everybody.
Yeah,
you gotta really pick and choose who you wanna, you know, be with, and like kind of.
Was there ever a point in your mind where you thought like that your brother really did what people thought he did, or did you know from the beginning that there's no, this must be like?
Yeah, no, I never thought that at all. I just know behind the scenes there was, of course, that one person.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
Yeah. So to fill just whatever context, like there's a partner that you guys had who they were supposed to be locked in, not be able to sell the coin, and the people sold it, and kind of, you know, the classic pump and dump. Yeah. Obviously, this was before it was really done. This was one of the big ones that happened early on that kind of shook the community.
Really did, yeah.
But your brother was mentioning even till today. Even till a couple months ago, he was still paying people back, which a lot of people maybe don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I think he's officially paid everyone, refunded everyone that was, you know, that got it.
He said he spent almost $500,000
Yeah,
on paying
just
people out of his pocket.
Yeah, and that's not even including like lawyer fees, you know, of course.
And what he lost also originally, right?
Yeah, and I've of course helped him out with like lawyer fees and stuff. You know, I tried to help him with, you know, in any ways I could. I was kind of on the back end. I didn't really know what was going on, but I was like, yo, you know, these lawyers are not cheap.
Yeah. He was saying it was like $4K an hour.
Yeah,
So
for those, and those calls were like daily for a couple weeks. You know?
Crazy.
But
these people come in and they literally eat off of like your worst time of your life.
And even some of the lawyers, you know, they weren't even helping. They were even making the situation worse.
Yeah.
So luckily we did find a really good lawyer that we still keep in touch with. He still helps me. He actually helped me with with everything, you know, even now still, like any kind of
That's good.
problems I have, like with the cease and desist, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so he helps me out a lot. Just making sure, like, if I ever film an Epic Games video, I send it off to them for approval.
That's good. It's good. That makes you comfortable to have someone like that in your corner.
Yeah, definitely.
I think, you know, for anyone that wants a little more info on that, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be interested. I know with your brother's episode, especially, like, unfortunately, his name is like completely tied to it.
Yeah.
I think for you, like, it's not the case, thankfully. Like, people tie you with boxing or whatever. And, you know, I think whoever wants to see it on the episode I posted with him, he talks about it, and I think him paying people back and him explaining will change people's perspective on it.
Yeah, he can go into detail. You know, he was very much present around the whole pre-post the whole time.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know, I'm glad you guys, are done with what you can do. You know, you obviously you can't change things that happen, but for him to catch up and pay everyone back, done with all the lawyer stuff, probably a big weight lifted off everyone's shoulders.
It's definitely a dark time for sure.
What is like? Is there any like major like life lesson that you learned from that? Again, like there's a lot that happened. But
I will never drop a coin. But in all seriousness, just keep your friends close and don't trust everyone or everything you hear.
Yeah.
Because there's gonna be some people that are around you that don't have your best interests in mind. When it hits the fan, goes down, at the end of the day, people are gonna try to protect themselves.
100%.
But what's crazy, and during that time, Frazier didn't even get by himself. He was just focused on like me, Tico, and Nikon, just trying to keep us in the clear.
I'm glad that you guys have moved on mentally as well from that, because I can't imagine the dark place you can go mentally.
Yeah, I think for Frazier, just recently, for him, it's still like it's lingering.
I'm
but
sure.
I think that now that finally everyone's been paid back, that's a big weight lifted off his shoulder.
I think he was mentioning how like every day he'd open his tweets, he'd see people saying I lost this money or whatever. So
yeah,
I'm sure that he feels good knowing that he did his part to pay people back.
Yeah.
But you mentioned it's crazy that your boxing fight, I didn't realize that it was that soon after that fight. Because the Michael Lee fight was,
I was
crazy. I remember watching, I was at Rain's house. This was when Rain, actually, unfortunately, one of the few times I visited him when he was, when his leg was messed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember I went once and like we watched your fight and we were going crazy watching you fight. We couldn't believe it. Right? Watching you knock out Michael Lee.
That was a great day.
I remember the whole lead up to it. This guy's TikTok and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was like, Jarvis gonna knock this kid out. But yeah, that was your only knockout too?
Yeah. Only knockout. I've had like TKOs, but
okay, but you straight knocked him out. First
knockout,
fight,
yeah.
That adrenaline that must have gave you. Oh
insane.
My! I mean, I know that picture of you.
That was like the domino effect, that made me just I wanted more.
Yeah.
And it was so sick how FaZe, they had that documentary team. That were with us, the whole journey.
Yeah.
So sick.
That video was awesome.
Yeah, those videos they made were
legendary, bro. That's so crazy. I never realized that the Save the Kids thing was like right after that.
Well, technically it had happened before. Like 2 weeks or a week before my fight was when it came out, and then everything went to. But I don't even remember that, because I remember Frazier tried to, keep it away from me. He didn't want it to affect my fight. No.
Okay, yeah.
But he didn't want it to affect my fight. He wanted to make sure I was still like focused. And then afterwards, a week went by, and then I think CoffeeZilla video came out, and
And then everything went
went crazy.
So then you got out of shape. You said for a while. I mean, because you must have been at like the craziest high for boxing.
Craziest high.
And it took you straight down.
to the
Yeah, but you know,
Wow.
thankfully, clearly, look at you again. Like I
Yeah.
said, you walk in, you're in amazing shape. You just got back from sparring. You guys are here in California sparring.
yeah.
You fought, you know, recently, a couple months ago,
Yeah, I fought in November.
November. Okay,
Yeah.
and you have another fight coming up soon.
Yeah, another fight in June.
Okay.
Supposed to be in Miami, actually.
Okay.
So this will be my first fight in America since
Michael Lee.
my first fight. Yeah.
Did you ever get paid, by the way, for the Michael Lee
No, I'm
fight?
still waiting.
I forgot about
I'm
it.
the
That
only
was
person that hasn't been paid.
You're the only one that didn't get paid.
Yeah, because everyone else, or like majority of people, came to a settlement. I was trying to do that too, where they got paid like 20% of what they were owed. And like I remember I agreed to that, and then they never paid me, and then a lot of time went by, and now I'm like currently in a lawsuit with them. Like I'm
This
trying
was I don't know if Social Gloves, right? Can you say
Yeah.
that?
yeah.
It was when it was like YouTube versus TikTok hard,
Mhm.
and yeah, I remember it was a big scandal. They didn't pay anybody.
No. And then what was crazy was they did another show. Austin hosted another show, got more investors for that, and didn't pay those guys either.
No way he
Which
did
is
it
insane.
again.
One of the guys, which was the main investor, invested a couple million, I think. He never got paid by Austin. He got into a lawsuit though with Austin and actually took a bunch of stuff from him,
Wow.
like physical assets.
No
So
way.
He got his stuff. He got his money back, but I'm still working on it.
You're not gonna.
I'm
you're
gonna get something.
You're gonna see
yeah.
it through, huh?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna get something. I'm gonna make sure I get something.
Uh,
Either take something or
take a car or something. For it?
yeah, if it comes to that, yeah.
Do you? I don't know if you could share, but like, how much did they agree to pay you, for example?
So when they first came to me, it was I want to say like 900K
Wow.
before FaZe cut. So
Wow.
FaZe would have taken a percent. But yeah, it was like 900K
For the fight, obviously that came with content and deliverables.
Yeah.
The
I can't even
900K
remember what else there was, but like yeah,
Wow.
that was the flat fee.
And they never paid you anything though.
Yeah, which is insane.
Insane. Well, I'm not gonna ask you to share all the how much you get paid for your fights now, but
Yeah.
is making money in boxing anywhere near like how much you would be able to make on YouTube when you were making videos every day? Is it comparable at all? Obviously, you're training.
Well, I mean, if I fight like 4 times a year, then or like 3-4 times a year, then it would be close.
Okay.
Or like on par maybe.
Because you spend a lot of you're spending everyday training.
Yeah.
Your whole life
sure.
is dedicated to
Yeah,
it. Obviously,
yeah.
you're not even doing it for the money.
No.
Some people do.
I really
right?
enjoy it.
Some
yeah.
people do it for the money.
Yeah.
Some people straight up they box because they need.
I
to make
mean, some
money.
people they have to box
Yeah.
just to make a living.
Yeah.
But I'm fortunate enough where I can kind of do it on the side, with everything else.
You have fun doing it.
Yeah, have loads of fun.
Are people again? I'm asking for you, but like, what is like an average thing someone gets paid to fight on like a Misfits card?
Well,
Yeah, no,
Misfits
is like probably the most real, like legit one.
yeah,
for
yeah,
influencers, right?
But they like them at the zone, they don't have crazy budgets. Like the Social Gloves was like a dream,
Yeah, I know.
That
It's fake.
figure's
That's
not
why.
even like
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
But like before before Misfits, I was on Kingpin. I did a couple fights there. I got paid good money, and then currently I'm on like a Misfits contract where it's progressive. It's like performance based.
If you win, you
So-
get more money.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's good.
People make like decent. Saying again, I'm not asking you for yours, but like people in those weight classes, they can make a couple $100,000 a fight potentially.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
There's
But,
good
like,
money because
there's
again, a lot of
only-
people talk about UFC pay.
Yeah.
And boxing, how much money they make.
Yeah.
So I'm
But-
just curious, I guess. So you,
It is because I would say there's definitely a lot of Misfits fighters that say will be getting most like 100K, but I would say there's a select.
fight, you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's definitely a select few, a group of them that can get higher 6 figures.
Okay. But that's obviously you have to pay for camp and you pay for your team and your coaches
Yeah.
and you share
Yeah.
splits, right?
And like the only ones that are really making big money are like KSI,
Yeah.
Jake Paul,
Yeah.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
But it's still still great money.
It's cool though. It's
Still
cool
great
that they
money,
carved
just-
out like this part of the internet for you guys. Like it's
Yeah.
a cool thing for you to.
Yeah,
There's not many people that can pull, the viewership.
yeah.
Obviously, you
for sure.
fought Gibb. You had some pretty big fights. You got some other ones, I guess.
Yeah, Tom Zanetti was a really good one.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
yeah, I'm trying to take it a step further after this. I have a fight in June. I'm excited for. Like my last fight, I won, but it was not like I had a bad performance. You know, I wasn't happy with how I performed. So honestly, it's worse. Like sucks more than losing. Like winning where you don't perform well, I would say is worse than my loss with Gib. Like with the Gib fight, I know what I did wrong. And like I had a couple good rounds, you know. But yeah, it just sucks losing or like sucks winning that way. So now for my next fight, I've been really locked in, and mate, even just the last like 2 months, I've seen crazy improvements like with what I've been doing. I've of course I got my strength coach, my boxing coach, and a nutritionist. But now I just got this new mental coach that's kind of showing me the science behind that. And what happens in a lot of fights, for me personally, like everything will be great during camp. I'll have great sparring, be in the best shape of my life. It gets to the fight and I'll get hit and then I'll forget everything, or I'll get this mad adrenaline dump. So with this guy I found, he's working on like changing my brain so I can not get, have a base so I remember what I need to remember and keep my energy, stable throughout the fight.
That's so super
Very interesting.
I've heard a lot of fighters say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Literally, that they get hit and then they forget. Like, you literally forget how to.
I mean, say with the Gib fight, that, I was in great shape. Obviously, I went the full 5 rounds, but I had this crazy adrenaline dump where my whole body went limp. My arms were like just dead. I couldn't move anything.
It's not. You're saying that's not physically being tired.
No, bro. So what it is like with this new guy I'm working with, it's changing your mind to, instead of when you think about a fight, you're not getting stressed but excited. So when you're stressed, you release this chemical cortisol, which it's like fight or flight. So your body is trying to protect you by shutting down. It's saying you're in danger, so we're gonna, take precautions to protect you. So you shut down, you can't think straight. But if you try and change your mind to get excited about the fight, it releases dopamine, which is actually the focus. It helps you focus. So during the fight, your energy's great throughout and you can stay focused.
It's very interesting.
It's real interesting, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Never done stuff like that before. So it'll be interesting to see how it works.
Now you're taking it serious.
Yeah.
It's actually insane because I have paragliding where you have the big fan on your back.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
You've done that?
I've done that, yeah. Dude,
Really?
Tico did it too. Me, Tico, Blaziken, Sensor, Tommy. We went to Florida like 2015 and 2016. We trained for 3 days learning how to fly. Like, I have a clip of me. I'll send it to Matter to throw on the screen. But like, I literally did it. Like, you run, the fan's going, and then like it just takes you off with a parachute and you go flying by yourself.
Wait, you're by yourself?
Yeah. So we did it for
how do you land? Like,
I mean, I don't remember anything at this point. But for 3 days we trained. The second I get up in the air, it must be exactly what you're talking about, adrenaline dump.
Yeah.
Like, the easiest thing you do, like the first thing they teach you is when you get up, you like take off something, you latch it up here, you pull yourself up and you sit in the seat. Because it's like a chair.
Yeah.
It's like the most basic thing. I'm flying in the air and I'm just like looking around. I have no idea. I don't remember how. So I never even got in the chair. My body was just dangling down the whole time. Like, I just was just hanging down.
Doing that solo is
it was crazy. I can't believe I did it.
To do that, yeah.
But I literally my brain couldn't figure out how to get in the chair. I just forgot. So they reminded me when you said you forget, like, whatever.
Yeah.
People may be like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I literally, that feeling, it reminded me of that. I completely forgot the most simple. It's just a magnet that you put up and you pull yourself up. And I couldn't do it. And I'm just worrying about not dying. Like, I'm worrying about landing. And somehow I landed. Blaziken, like, I don't remember what happened, but Blaziken. I didn't know
Tico did that too.
Yeah, Tico did it. I don't know if he ever flew. He must have, though.
Have you ever just like parachuted out of a plane? Like
skydiving? Yeah. I've done it like 3 times. Not by myself.
So I've done that. Yeah.
I would never do it by myself, ever.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did this by myself. Dude, Blaziken went and he was like literally we're all supposed to land in like this area. He just flying all the way. Like, bro, he went so far.
Where did you do that?
In Florida.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That would be sick though.
It was pretty cool. I look back at the videos and I can't believe we did that.
Yeah.
I remember being in the air, like 500 feet in the air, I think, and just looking around. Crazy feeling to be flying like that. But
definitely some cool things.
Yeah,
that we've done in the past.
Yeah, I know. Been very lucky for sure. But It was fun. So hopefully you'll get unbanned from Fortnite soon and get back to content.
Yeah.
But you're obviously mainly focused on boxing. Can you give like a day in the life of Jarvis? Like, what do you do? I'm sure you still do some forms of content, but
Yeah. So I wake up. Currently, what I do, I wake up, get some sunlight straight away. Journal. I've got this journal that I do now. It's for my mental, so it's meant to help with that. And after that, I'll go make some food, do any kind of content work stuff I need to do in the morning before I go to the gym. Then around like 11, I'll head to the gym, box for 2-3 hours. Whatever I'm doing, drills, sparring, whatever it might be. I'm there with Nikon. Me and him are there every day. And get home, shower, content again, any kind of work-related stuff I need to do. And then I'll work out again. I either do my strength and conditioning, or I'll do some kind of strength work at home with, running, sprinting. And then after that, if I have to do anything else, most of the time I'm done with most things. But if I have to do anything else, I'll do that and just chill.
that's 7 days a week?
6 days.
Okay.
So on Saturdays, though, it's more, I just do one session and that's it. And then Sunday's full chill day.
Sunday's full chill day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm starting to get on my meal plan too again. I gotta lose some weight. Like I'm big right now.
Yeah.
So I fight at 155, but I'm like 170-ish.
Okay.
So I gotta lose some pounds, bro.
How's that been, cutting weight?
I
Do you
mean,
ever have to cut that much, or?
so honestly, pretty easy. Like with my nutritionist, he's making sure that I lose most of my weight before like 2 weeks before the fight. So
cool.
The week before the fight, I have to
doing
lose like 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds.
Okay.
Real easy. But I make sure that I'm still, building muscle. Like, thing with weight cutting is if you lose the weight too quickly, or you don't eat the right, amounts of food you should, like proteins, etc., you're gonna get weaker.
Yeah.
So it's just making sure I stay strong.
Okay. It's really cool.
But I've luckily never had a problem with that. Like, I don't have to, maybe if I got offered a crazy fight and I have like 2, 3, 4 weeks and I have to cut 20 pounds, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But like, I've been pretty lucky. I've had like full camps. Right.
Cool. Well, that's good. Do you get like people in the gym kind of, because you're like, YouTube kid, or do you get kind of like extra attention in the gym?
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes. And then, like there'll be times where like people will try prove something, like when they spar me or whatever, they're like, this guy's just a YouTuber. They'll just try to go extra hard.
Yeah.
But I can take it.
Yeah.
I can take a punch. But my coach too doesn't help me either. Otis, he's a big talker. I don't know if you
I know Otis. I've never met him. I've seen him though.
Yeah,
Your
bro.
whole journey. Yeah.
Big talker.
And your content too.
Like I'm in the gym. I'm just like doing my own thing, working,
Quiet.
talking, whatever. He like someone will come in the gym that never seen before, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I've got a guy for you. He's gonna you up." He's like talking so much, and I'm like, "Bro, what are you doing to me?" And but I love
That's cool.
him.
You've been with him from the beginning.
It's very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
so
never
cool.
leave him. He's he's taught me a lot for sure.
That's awesome.
Boxing, just in life.
Outside of the gym, how is like the popularity online? How has that affected your life? Like, do people everywhere you go, do you still get stopped a lot going out in public? And
Yeah, in certain areas for sure. Like if it's like populated area with a certain demographic, then it'll be a lot more. But it's not too bad. And like I don't hate it. I love meeting people and like hearing what they have to say. It's just
it's
cool.
mainly like teenagers at this point?
Yeah, they're like pretty grown up now, like 17,
Yeah.
16, 17, 18.
That's cool. They're probably all starting, like our OG fans now are like starting their careers, they're working. Yours are still maybe in school. Maybe some of them are working like fast food jobs, stuff like that. You probably see them randomly. Like,
yeah, for sure.
that's cool.
And like I'll get Uber Eats. Like if I'm ever ordering food, there'll be sometimes they'll deliver food. I'm like, yo, what?
they see Jarvis, and they're probably like, huh? Is your name
They're
Jarvis?
like,
on
I
that?
saw your name, but
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be you.
That's so cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, because there's not that many people named Jarvis, especially in
No.
America.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Is it
rare.
is it like a more common name in the UK?
No, it's actually Canadian.
Okay.
name, yeah.
Okay, your
'Cause
brother
I'm
might
actually
be- yeah.
part Canadian. So
Yeah, you guys have Canadian citizenship.
yeah.
Oh, okay. There's always a car that drives by that has that says Jarvis. I think I sent you a picture once. Where I live, I guess it's like a cleaning company or something.
Really?
Every time I see this car, this huge yellow van that just says Jarvis on the side, and I always think of you every time I see it.
I think I've met maybe one other Jarvis.
That's so crazy.
There's actually another YouTuber that is named Jarvis.
What does he do?
I don't even know.
I thought I knew what you were
does
talking
like some
about.
reaction type videos, but
There was like, we had some like sensitivity training at FaZe Clan. Where we all had to do this.
I
training.
do remember that.
That guy's name was Jarvis. Do you remember the training? Did you do the training?
I did. I think I did some of it, but
We had to do some training. This was in like the 2021. Like,
yeah.
When everything was super duper corporate. This guy came and did like, sensitivity training is what it's called. To make sure you don't say the wrong words and say the bad. His name was Jarvis. I just remember.
Really?
Funny. Yeah.
He's doing me dirty.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
Funny.
Well, how long do you, actually I asked you outside how long you think you're going to box for. You didn't have a timeline, but I guess boxing, making content, do you think you're always going to be online creating content or?
Yeah, I mean, as long as I enjoy doing it, like I just don't want to be pressured into having to, make content in that kind of sense where I can get to a point where I don't have to do anything. I can just relax. But if I see this cool idea, like, yo, let's do this crazy idea, let's film that. I want to get to that point, but of course I want to keep boxing. That's not going to be something I do my whole life, It's definitely a short period of time you can do that for. And like, I want to be very careful with that because obviously you hear stories of all these people getting CTE and just, scary stuff. It's not a game. You got to be careful. When I first started boxing, I was getting hit a lot, but now, like, as I've become a better boxer, I'm much more cautious on my defense and, protecting myself and just trying to do things outside of boxing to, help my mental.
Yeah. I mean, you really enjoyed that much though, where you don't want to stop anytime soon.
Yeah. No. I love it. I love fighting.
Yeah.
It's like it's a crazy adrenaline rush.
That's cool. What is your like long-term life goal?
I definitely want to have family in England.
In England.
I have eventually, me and Frazier, we, invest a lot. We've got a lot of properties together. And eventually just get to a point where our passive income can just, let us have a baseline so we're comfortable. And then still, of course, I still want to be working. I think it's just a good thing to do. I never want to just stop everything.
Yeah.
But I do want to have a house. I want to get a fat bit of land in England, somewhere in the countryside near where I live. Have a farm, get some animals there.
Okay.
Like, I really want to have just like a nice house. Nothing crazy. I don't need anything crazy.
Yeah.
And then get like, grow my own vegetables, my own herbs, have a couple chickens for, some eggs.
I love it, yeah.
Cow maybe I'll around with.
Yeah.
And just live there.
You want
have
kids
houses.
too?
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. But I'm 24. I got I want to have them around when I'm 30. Probably.
You got time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just have a couple houses dotted around places so I can travel.
Cool. I feel like you guys think are doing stuff you enjoy already.
For
so
sure.
It's like as long as you're doing what you enjoy, you're probably gonna be happy. So.
And I had a great childhood, and I want my kids to have that same kind of experience where me and my brothers and even my cousins and stuff, we want to have, like I said, we had a house in Scotland when we were younger. We want to get something like that so our children can kind of do the same thing that we were doing.
Yeah.
Just make it all full circle.
Yeah.
Cool.
What I want to do also in the future, the Middle East, go to Palestine, the village my dad grew up in.
Yeah,
Go
exactly.
take them. Like, I think it's
Take them
super
home.
important.
Yeah.
I never got to do that growing up. So I realized what I missed, and I'm like, all right, you guys speak a different language?
No.
No? But in Nepal,
Never.
what do they speak?
Nepal, they speak Nepali.
Nepali, okay. You don't understand it?
No.
Okay.
No, I know namaste. I know one word.
Yeah.
But
you
I've
want to learn
actually
it,
never been to Nepal.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
I know you've never been, so you got to visit
Yeah.
soon, right?
Yeah, because it's a cool thing. Like, a lot of people that watch me and stuff, they don't actually know where I'm from. I get mistaken at times for being Mexican, Chinese, whatever. But whenever me and Frazier say we're from Nepal, we have this strong fan base of these kids in Nepal that watch us, which is
That's
really
really
cool.
cool.
So it would be sick to go out there and just do something for Nepal.
Yeah,
That's always
really
been
cool.
a dream. And just see my family, like I have a whole family over there that cousins, uncles. I think I even have a grandma over there.
Yeah.
Never met.
Yeah.
So
That'd be cool. You
would
guys
be
gotta
real
go
cool.
soon.
Yeah.
You ever want to learn the language, or you're not really? You don't care too much.
I mean, I would love to, but I don't know if I have that. I don't know if I have the brain to learn another language.
I mean, my guy, you've learned Fortnite. You've learned boxing.
I'm really bad at
tennis.
just like words.
Yeah, I
and,
feel
like,
you. I feel
you
you.
know what I'm saying?
Learning a language.
I'm not. Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I've been learning Arabic the last few years. I never thought I'd be able to learn it to the level
Really?
I wanted to learn it.
Yeah.
I still got.
Arabic's a hard language.
It is a really hard
Very
language to
hard
learn.
language. Yeah.
But I never thought I still got a lot of work, but I got to a point where I never thought I'd be able to get to. So
Yeah.
you just got to put in the work. Yeah,
I know,
clearly you have the
some Arabic.
clearly you have
like,
the work ethic.
Inshallah.
There you go. You've been spending time in Dubai, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think you should do it. I was talking to Pamaj too.
Would be
I saw
sick.
him.
Wow.
I saw Pamaj at the 100 Thieves Optic thing we did. And he speaks, I don't know what the language is called. I'm sorry, Pamaj, but it's like the native in Canada. Like the natives in Canada.
Isn't it French?
No. Like native. You
Native
know how Americans,
minded.
you know how in America there's like Native Americans? Like,
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
sorry, I
didn't
don't
know
want to
Canada had that.
misspeak, but in Canada,
Crazy. Yeah.
whatever the native, he just calls them native, so I don't know what the right word is.
Okay.
But he's native. So they speak a different language, and he's like learning it every day.
Wow.
Me and him were talking about how, like, dude, please don't
Like,
stop.
how do you learn? So, like,
Well, his language, by the way, is almost extinct.
okay.
So, like, he needs to, like, find someone that speaks it. Like,
Yeah.
Arabic is being taught all around the world.
Mhm.
And, like, because for us in our religion, it's like a lot of people learn Arabic to learn how to read our, like, holy book and stuff. So, there's a lot of resources to learn Arabic.
Yeah.
Other languages, it may be a little more hard. But for me, I'm taking literally, like, grammar classes.
Really?
Like, I'm literally straight learning grammar.
Like, what? Because I know there's Duolingo.
No,
But
I don't.
that's like.
No, I'm in, like, a program where I'm, like,
Oh, okay.
learning, like, grammar
You got
rules.
lessons. Like,
yeah,
it's like you're in school.
Yeah, literally like school. But there's other ways to learn it too, where
Yeah.
people just they just get like a tutor that they just talk to every day.
Yeah.
That's what Pamaj does.
Yeah, I would
So
probably
there's
need something like that.
different ways. You
Yeah.
should look into it.
Because
Come on,
I wasn't good in school. Like, I couldn't focus.
get a
you
tutor
know,
that speaks and just do it
but
slowly.
I should, yeah.
Dude, because even if you do it 30
I would
minutes,
love to just speak another language. It's just cool. Anywhere you can go, you can just whip out
yeah.
whatever.
Especially maybe if you learn it, it'll give you more of a reason to want to go visit Nepal
Yeah.
more and like set up a little home
Yeah.
base there too. But
Mm-hmm.
cool, man. Well,
It's crazy how Tico didn't speak any English before he came
insane.
to America.
Yeah, he
he
literally
learned English through Xbox.
crazy.
Which is
I remember
insane,
when he
yeah.
got recruited to FaZe, his English wasn't bad, but like he was nowhere near what it's like today.
Yeah. Now he's.
I have
got
a
it.
message with him when we did our podcast. I showed him the message. Like he left FaZe in like 2012,
Yeah. Oh, really?
like to go do like music and
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
And I had sent him this long message, and I think in the message I mentioned how good his English got. It's just crazy. Now he's like, like
Yeah.
he's like a native speaker now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Trust.
Shout out to Tico. I gotta come.
Um,
Telling K, I think I might be in Vegas soon for another podcast. So,
Oh, 100%.
Love to see you guys
Come
out
by.
there, but-
Yeah, for sure.
but hey, man,
We
it was
got a
good.
good squad, yeah.
Yeah, you guys do. I haven't
Yeah.
seen Nikon in forever either.
I know.
I haven't-
Doing well.
Yeah, I love Nikon. He's doing great. He just obviously won his first boxing fight.
Yeah.
Guy lost so much weight. It's insane. But shout out Nikon. I gotta see him too.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just thinking when I think about Nikon now, I was on the phone with him once and I literally got in a car accident while I was on the phone with Nikon. I got smashed, rear-ended so bad, and my AirPod flew out literally. And I was like, Nikon, I gotta go.
Nikon's probably tripping.
Yeah.
Like, yo,
Yeah,
Apex, you good?
I gotta come. I would love to see you guys. So if I come to Vegas, I'm definitely gonna come.
Come to the gym too.
Oh no, buddy,
Get you in there.
you don't want to see me in
We
there.
get you in there.
I don't know if you
box
remember,
someone,
we did
you
a
know?
punching bag video. And
Mate, you were like
I was the highest
one of the
other than your brother.
You got some.
Your
you got
brother
some
was
strength.
your
You got
brother
some
was
strength.
number one.
Yeah, but
Your brother's got that
Fraser's
strength.
a
I don't think you
animal.
were in the video, or maybe that was before. That was
Nah.
definitely before your boxing journey. So
Yeah,
now you'd smack all of them.
that's when I was like a twig though.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's when you were a World Cup qualifier. Yeah, but hey, man, I'm glad it's been really cool to see you.
Yeah, you
Obviously,
too.
I've been I've never stopped seeing you online, but
Yeah.
good to see you in person.
You
You're
too,
a freaking
man.
grown man now. But I'm not that much older than you. Only like 5 years.
Yeah, it's
but
weird.
I feel like I'm
honestly,
like 10 years older.
I feel like
than
you're
you.
way older
Yeah.
than me, but you're not. Yeah,
I feel like it too, but
crazy. It's the beard, I think.
maybe.
Yeah.
But congrats on everything, man. And
Yeah,
keep, I'm
thanks.
happy
You
that
too,
you're
brother.
so happy boxing and you
Yeah.
found like that passion, a real passion.
Yeah,
That's one of the nicest things in life to have.
Yeah.
Something that really drives you every day.
I
so.
mean, yeah, I feel like that's the most important thing in anything you do. Is like you don't love it, then what are you really doing?
Yeah,
You gotta love
100%.
what you do every day. Find a purpose in life.
Congrats on everything. Hope to see you on
Thanks, brother.
Fortnite soon.
Hopefully,
We'll be on the stream. You said maybe in April.
we can run some duos.
Hopefully this goes up before he comes back to Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed.
If
Everybody
not, yeah,
pray.
we'll
Everybody
catch you.
pray.
Bro, if they don't unban you, then we gotta do some more protests
Yeah,
outside.
I
of
don't
Epic.
even want. I don't even want to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Jarvis.
Thank you,
Appreciate you
man.
coming. Thank you.
Appreciate it.